no one to believe in hostilities, but you still enforce the worst upon me.
Good evening, race fans. Urban Pirate here with Black Flag Racing TV, and we are here this evening with the Amigos Racing Team for the Team Showdown. Anyone that's watched this before will know this is an awesome race series. You have 4 teams: yellow, green, blue and red. They've got a choice of 2 cars. You won't know what car they're driving until they turn up to the race. Yellow can either be in the Atenza or the Viper. Greens will be in the GTR or the McLaren. The red team will also be in the GTR or the Viper. Blue team in the WRX or the NSX. Anyone that jumped on earlier on when I started the stream a little bit too early will recognise I'm actually starting on time now. For some reason I had it down as a bit of an earlier start, but there we go. It's going to be an interesting turn 1, I think. Turn 1, turn 2, you've got a lot of walls there, and I think you just need to be a little bit careful going into turn 1. So, turn 1 where? I hear you cry. Well, turn 1 at Tokyo. Tokyo East, to be exact. Tokyo Expressway East, and we're in the clockwise direction. 4.5 miles, 13 turns, although most of them aren't actually turns. But here is your little track guide so you can see what we are in store for. I realise I'm doing this in the AMG Mercedes, which isn't any of the cars, but that's the track I did it, the car I did it in, so tough. It's a fictional circuit, but it is based on actual roads in Tokyo. These are real roads, they just don't race on them, at least not legally anyway. It's 4.54 miles. I've put 12 turns, but I mean technically they're 13. But I don't count turn 13 as a turn, to be fair. Only between 4 and 6 of them at full throttle, but it really depends on what car you're driving. So turns 1 and 2, very tricky, especially from the start. You go down to second gear through those turns, then you are on the power through turn 3, through turn 4 as well. You might have to lift off, but again it depends on the car you're on, the tyres you're on, the grip you've got, etc. Then you come down turns 5 and 6. You want to brake before turn 5, really to get a good exit from turn 6. Then you power around turn 7 and 8. These are big sweeping turns, to be fair. Then you've got turn 9. You do brake for this, which takes you into turn 10 and 11, of course. Come up here into turn 10, turn 11, and that's full power through there. And then you head down towards the biggest braking zone of the track, which is turn 12. You're going to brake nice and early, as far on the left as you can, and you want to get on the power as quickly as possible. Apex there. I missed the apex there, to be fair. You want to get on the power because everything from here is flat out for about just under 2 miles of the entire track. You head down into the tunnel, and it is just power. And this is where slipstream is your friend, because if you can come out of turn 12 right up behind somebody else, there is nothing they can do to stop you stealing their slipstream and nicking that place. And that's the beauty of Tokyo Expressway. I'm going to put in a quick advert for something that's coming up. So I'm raising some money for the Mind charity, particularly focused on mental health and particularly male suicide. I'm raising money for a series of endurance races throughout November and December. Please watch the video. I'd love you to get involved. If you can't get involved, then please, at least watch the video, share it, do whatever, send it to your friends. And if you can, I know it's difficult times right now financially, but if you can, please bung a few quid our way. Thank you. I want to ignore the starting date because that
Mental health problems affect 1 in 4 of us. Join Mind now in the fight for mental health.
Thanks for that. So this was last week. Green are about ready to qualify, but just to let you know how it went last week, Green nicked it. If you want to watch the race from last week, Lancaster pulled off a brilliant move in the pit stops to steal first place from Bonnie Val, and once he took it, wasn't getting stopped. So it was Lancaster from Bonnie Val, from Super Squid, from Brett Rackett. Nick No One was my driver of the day, just purely for his majestic, very majestic drift on the completely wrong tyres through turn 1 and 2. But very awesome. So we know where we're at. We know what we need to do. Let's see where everyone is at in terms of qualifying. So Green Team are out first. Lancaster, followed by Brett, followed by Lango today. Lango a little bit further back. Need to work together as a team to get this done. They're on the outlaps right now. The order, can't remember. I think it's Green. No, I'm not going to guess. Let's not guess, and I'll tell you when they come out. So for the Green Team today, we've got Lancaster, we've got Brett Rackett, we've got Lango. And they have gone for the GTR again. Very strong car, the GTR, to be fair. Especially on this racetrack, because it's got that straight line speed. I do want to apologise for last week. Apparently my language is quite awful. I know I tend to swear quite a lot. I will make an effort this evening for the kiddies that are watching to not have a potty mouth. Apologise to the parents if any of your kids repeated any of those words back to you. Little message for the kiddies that are watching. This is the perfect time to empty Daddy's wallet. So if Daddy's racing and not sitting on his wallet, go and grab a tenner out there and go and buy yourself something nice. Sorry, dads. Had to be done. So, Lancaster, Brett and Langer all going to use some big slipstream. They've slowed right down, coming towards the end of the lap. They're going to go round the final 2 turns, 12 and 13. And then it looks like they're going in a formation. So, Lancaster leads Brett, leads Lango. So, here we go. This is where it's key. This is where the power matters. So, they get on that power into the straight here, under the bridge, and it's flat out now until the end of this straight. Nothing will happen for 2 miles but pure unadulterated speed, and you can see all the other cars there in the pits desperately waiting to come out. So as these guys cross the line, the next team will come out and start their outlaps. So here comes the red team to start their outlap, but this is what matters right now. Let's go on board with Lancaster and we'll do a lap around Tokyo here, and it's in the dark, which always makes it more fun. And you head up here, you're in 6th gear, and if your gearing's right, and some cars, to be fair, you do this in Supra, you're already maxing out, down into, and he's doing that in 4th gear, 3rd gear. So changes down to 3rd, gets in, you've got to mind those walls. Again, 3rd gear around this bend. Then you're on that power again, and you won't see him let off for a while now. Soft tyres, very, very strong around here. This is a flat out corner. The next one, possibly a little lift if you're going too quick, but if you get the turn right, you can stay flat out, and he does. This is where you brake, little dab, get it turned in, then back on that power. Again, avoiding the walls is what you want to do. Coming round again, you've got a little touch of brake here, or not. You go flat out. Sorry, here is a touch of brake, most definitely. Get it changed down, or not. He stayed in 5th. Me personally, I changed down there, but I wasn't driving the GTR when I did it. You do need 4th here. You get it turned. You get it turned again here. Again, flat out though. And then it is get on the power until your next big braking zone, which is the big 180 at the top of this straight here. So you stay on this left-hand side. On the brakes, about there. He's bang on. Into that apex. 1st gear to get the rotation. Back up to 2nd, then on the power and off you go. And again, it's a straight. Nothing but power here. So what is the time to beat? That's the question. Too many. One too many. There we go. So Lancaster will cross the line. First, then Brett, then Lango. All getting a bit of slipstream off each other. Lancaster with a 210.1. Brett Rackett 210.3 and a 210.5 from Lango. So actually perfect order for them to go out. Absolutely perfect order, because the times are very reflective of pace. So next it's the red team. They are on their outlap. As they cross the line, the next team will exit the pits. The red team also gone for the GTR. And to be fair, I think the GTR is going to be the strong car here over all the other options, just because of the straight line speed. So there they go, lap starting for them. We've got Carl, Games, Drums. There are 3 brilliant things. Well, that's what I'm assuming Carl is. Games and Drums are really cool. Personally prefer guitars over drums, but we won't talk about that. Don't know how cool Carl is, but I'm assuming he's pretty cool because he likes games and drums. Nick No One. This guy can drift like a wizard, and Willard in the rear of those 3. So Super Squid, Dinglehopper, Airbag, all coming out for their outlap. Hopefully their outlap is not as quick as the Red's fast lap, to be fair, but I don't think it will be. So at the moment, Lancaster is on pole with a 210.1. That's a very, very solid time to beat. Very solid time. And if anyone wants to see Lancaster at his best, watch the stream from last week. He couldn't overtake on the track, but what he did do is a brilliant pit overtake. Came out ahead of Bonival, who had until that point been dominating, and went on to win the race. And a special mention for Nick No One in that race, who drifted like a demon. I think I've already mentioned it, but it was such a brilliant drift. So here we go. Carl Games Drums leading the red team out. This does, of course, mean that we've got different runners today. Bonnie Val with the yellow team. I'm sure Bonnie Val's not usually on the yellow team. I could just be mistaken, but I'm sure she was racing for another. He was racing for another team last week. So just waiting for these GTRs to cross the line so we can see how the teams are matching up. And it's GTR versus GTR for qualifying so far, so it's going to be very representative. And that's a very good time from Kyle Games Drums, 2:09.2. So Willard even better with a 2:08.8. So that's slipstream just giving him the edge. Nick No One, 2:09.7. So all three of the red team improve on anything the green team's got to offer. So it is Willard from Carl Games Drums, from Nick No One, Langster, Brett Rackett and Lango. And now we've got Super Squid, Dinglehopper and Airbag all out there ready to set their time. They are in the Viper. Again, not a bad car in a straight line. Really be interested to see how the Viper stacks up against the GTR here. And this is the Tier 1 race of the Team Showdown. A little bit different from the standard races in that it's a team event. So it's not just based on your own individual performance. You have to work as a team. It's all about overtakes. That's what matters here. Yes, of course, winning will get you extra points. But if you start last and finish much higher up, it's going to benefit your team, and that is key here. So Super Squid is leading them out. They're on the. It's quite a tricky section, this, because you only need to clip one wall, and it all goes horribly, horribly wrong for the rest of the lap. You lose so much time. You don't get away. You can't get away like that guy in NASCAR did this week, by hitting the wall and dragging yourself around. You can't get away with that here. You have to keep away from these walls. So they're on their hot lap now, which will mean that Team Blue are out. And Team Blue, Bonnie Val, No Hassle and Websons. And no, I'm wrong. Bonnie Val was blue last week. I don't know why I thought it was a different colour. That's what happens when you don't pay attention, boy. Right, here comes Super Squid. On the power now. Let's see what times they put in. At the minute, it's Team Red with all of the aces. Willard, Carl Games Drums and Nick No One all in the top three. Can this yellow team now split them in the Vipers? Super Squid about to cross the line. It's going to be close. It's certainly not close enough, though. That's a 2:11.2. That's not good enough. Airbag, 2:11.2 as well. Very, very close. Dinglehopper just pips them both, though, with a 2:11.6. So in terms of pace between the team, we've got 0.06 of a second between Dinglehopper and Super Squid, and 0.02 of a second between Super Squid and Airbag. So all the teams very close in pace, but at the moment it is very much advantage Team Red. Team Red over Team Green over Team Yellow. This is the first time so far we've seen this. So it is down to Team Blue to start splitting the group. We know Bonnie Val is quick. Can Bonnie Val split this group? Can all of Team Blue relegate all of Team Red into the 4th, 5th and 6th position? It's a very difficult track to overtake because you are constantly at full pelt. So your overtakes are going to happen in one of two ways. It's going to be that the person in front of you clips a wall or makes a mistake, or it's going to be about pit stops. Can you look after your tyres? Can you look after your fuel while still going at pace and being competitive, and then come out and make a difference? Because I think that is going to be the key today. And I think that's the key with all the Tokyo tracks, is they are such quick racetracks that overtaking is not necessarily a given. But there is Bonnie Val leading out of the blue team by some significant way. But if we look at from No Hassle's car, you can't even see Bonnie Val. The distance is so big already. So Bonnie Val, and there's a wall there from No Hassle. So Webson's will go through. That's going to affect No Hassle's time because so far I don't think anyone has clipped the wall. I was going to say Airbag clipped the wall, but Airbag's already finished. So here comes Bonnie Val round that last corner. This corner doesn't count. It is turn 13, but it doesn't count. You're flat out around here. And here he goes down towards the start-finish line. Is this a pole position time? I'll tell you what, it's looking pretty damn quick. 2 minutes as they head into the tunnel. Is it going to stay under that target time? They're in the NSX, which is a pretty good race car. Not quick enough for pole. Good enough for 7th, though, for Bonnie Val. So 7th is the best Bonnie Val's getting out of the NSX. What about the rest of the team? Webson's in 11th. No Hassle, 12th place. So it is Team Red with the advantage here. Willard, Carl Games Drums, Nick No One out in front. And Nick No One's always a front runner. Well, certainly in the last 3 races that I've done, Nick No One has been the front runner in every single race, up in that top 3. Can he make a difference after the pit stop and push himself into the top 3 for the end? It is Team Green all locking out 4, 5 and 6. Bonnie Val splitting the difference for Team Blue at 7th. And then it is Team Yellow, Team Yellow, Team Yellow with Team Blue finishing up at the end. So, very colour-coded grid this evening. But looking forward to this because this is going to be properly full-on racing. So Willard on pole. Will Willard hold that going into turn 1? They've got to be careful going into turn 1 because it's going to be a very, very... I was trying to think of the right word. Smash fest is probably the right word. It is very much like Monza turn 1 in that it can go horribly, horribly wrong. Especially because you've got cars behind that have picked up some great slipstream. And already those GTRs looking very, very dominant here. Willard holding that lead. Carl Games Drums. Oh, there was someone hitting a wall behind there. Who was that? Was that Brett Rackett going around Langston? I think it was Langston hit the wall. Lango going through. Langston tucking in behind. Bonnie Val already putting a challenge in on Langston round the outside. Can't hold that though there because you've got the inside line here and it's not the place to be overtaking. So there we go. Langston holds off for now. But Bonnie Val says now it's time and moves up into 6th. Langston dropping down to 7th place as Bonnie Val tucks in behind Lango. We've got some great movement here from Brett Rackett. Brett Rackett is on a massive charge for Team Green. Already up to 2nd place. Gets around Nick No One, gets around Carl Games Drums. So Nick No One moves up a place. Carl Games Drums moves down 2 places. Lango running in 5th. Bonnie Val up to 6th place. Langston tucked in behind. Super Squid for Yellow Team. The Yellow Team still in order. Super Squid, Dinglehopper, Airbag. No Hassle for Blue Team up in 11th. So it's currently in 11th. And Webson's in at 12th. No change at the back. So big movers here. Brett Rackett, massive movement from him. That is a huge, huge jump. Nick No One loses out. Carl Games Drums loses out. Lango gains a place, or gains a couple of places. Bonnie Val also gains a place. So it's already starting to rack up as we come to the end of lap 1. There's 22 laps around here, and it is going to be full on. So Willard still maintains the lead. How long can Willard hold off the charge, though, with Brett Rackett behind? 1.2 seconds is the lead. So it's enough not to give up any slipstream at this stage. And that is going to be key, I think, is trying to keep out of that tow range. But Brett Rackett does have Nick No One tucked right in behind, looking for a move. Carl Games Drums already dropping off that pace. In terms of tyres, who is not on the softs? Bonnie Val on the mediums, going straight through the middle of Lango and Langster. What a move that was! You've got to be impressed with that. Running on those medium tyres in the NXS, jumping straight through the middle of those two. Now this is going to be key. Who's brave? Carl Games drums on the outside. Body Val's going to take this. Body Val up into 4th place. Will take the inside line here. That is some move on those medium tyres. You've got to applaud that. That is very, very worthy of a little 1 minute short after this race. If that is not something that goes viral on racing forums, I don't know what will. What an overtake that was. Carl Games drums tucked in behind, but I think Body Val has already got the measure of these guys. And blue team starting to make the move. No, it is absolutely hot because it is slipstream hell. If you are out in front, I tell you what, if I'm Willard, I am absolutely bricking it at this stage, because sooner or later you're going to have someone coming up behind you. There's nothing you can do about it once someone's got that slip and they're making the move. There is nothing you've got that can do anything to stop them. I suppose you can put them in a wall, but then that will make you a big racing bleep. So Willard's still in the lead, but that lead's been cut now. Brett Rackett's cut it to 0.6 of a second. We'll get the slipstream here, so Willard is going to be very vulnerable as we just come up to the end of lap 2. It is full on action. It is Willard from Brett Rackett, Nick No One, who's already making a challenge. Bonnie Val has already pulled off the single greatest overtake I think I've ever seen in the history of GT7, other than one very clever one at the top of Kemmel Straight. We won't go into that at the moment. Carl Games drums back in 5th place. Will that stick? Because Langster down side by side, making that move up into 5th. So here we go. Brett Rackett tucked in behind. Nick No One tucked in behind that. This is the view from Nick No One. Can he make the move around Brett Rackett and restore 2 red cars to the front of this grid? Or is he just going to suck up the... look at this move. He's got slipstream off both. Is he going to make the move through the middle as well? Or is Brett Rackett going to win out? Willard just holding off. Stays in the lead. Only just though. Brett Rackett looking around the outside. Nick No One hits that wall. That takes him off the pace somewhat. So Willard held off by some mark of genius. I don't know what stopped him, but he did hold off there, get back to 1.2 seconds, and he can breathe a sigh of relief as they go back through the tricky, twisty section. Brett Rackett in 2nd place, 4/10 behind Nick No One. Nick No One would have made that move, but for the little clip on the wall. And that is the problem with slipstream, is that it does take away a lot of that air that helps to slow you down if you're tucked in behind. Langster's made his way up into 4th, has made the move back round Bonnie Val with that slipstream, and Carl Games drums is tucked in behind Bonnie Val. Bonnie Val's not going to have it all his own way today. We know he's quick, but slipstream is a great leveler. It can really change things. And clipping walls is also a great leveler. Lando back in 7th place with Super Squid tucked right under the wing of that GTR in the Dodge Viper. Dinglehopper in 9th, Airbag in 10th, but still No Hassle and Webson's bringing up the rear of the pack. So here we go. Willard's got a bit of a bigger gap this time, but not much. Not giving up much slipstream. Should be able to hold it off this time. 1.2 seconds. Not giving up any slipstream to Brett. Brett's not giving nothing up to Nick No One. Nick No One giving up maybe a little to Langster, but nothing significant. They start to open up a little bit. This is where, for me, the medium tyre runners will start to really come into it, because you've got the soft tyre runners who will be going quick. There's no doubt about it. And Langster just puts in 2:08.1, which is a very quick racing lap at this stage. But because the mediums are going to hold out so much longer, they can afford, especially Bonnie Val sitting in there in 5th place, can just hang on. All you need to do is hang on. There's Lango tucked in behind, making a move on Carl Games drums. Or is it going to happen? Doesn't look like it does as they come into turn 1. No move there for Lango. So Lango tucks back in behind that French driver for Team Green. Super Squid still within the running. He's got his teammate Dinglehopper and Airbag still running with them. Still running as a 1, 2, 3 for the team. No Hassle. Webson's still at the back of the pack. Webson's starting to get cut adrift a little bit. Needs to tuck up. Needs to speak to see if No Hassle, they can kind of work together and maybe give each other a little pull up the road. Willard still holding the lead. 1.3 seconds is that lead. I said the GTR was going to be strong around there, and it's just such a strong car. In a straight line, it's probably one of the best. It just becomes a problem when you have to start slowing it down and turning it, of course. But Willard at the moment, 1.1 seconds clear of Brett Rackett. Brett Rackett, the biggest winner so far, with a big jump up the field. So we've got Willard from the United Kingdom, Brett Rackett from Belgium, 1.9 seconds back to Nick No One, the newly crowned New Zealander from South Africa. Langster looking to make a move up the inside on Nick No One. Now, if I were him, I would tuck in and get this slipstream, because this is where you get the move done. You don't want to overtake on that turn. You want to take the slipstream and burn them on the straight. And here we go. They're both in GTRs. So this is all about straight line speed. And at the moment, Nick No One is pulling Langster up that road, and it's closing. Will he dive out, or is he going to sit in there? He's going to sit in there and just save a bit of fuel, save his tyres. That's a very clever decision there from Langster. That is great racecraft, because some would just take that move up into the top three and disappear off up the road. But Langster's thinking about the other 16 laps that they've still got to do here. 16, 17, 18 laps they've still got to do here. And thinking about his tyres. The longer he can hang out the softs, the longer he can hang out that fuel, the better it is for him. But Nick No One now on the outside. Now Langster up the inside can make that move. He's taken the slipstream. They are side by side. What's going to happen here? I mean, such good racing to stay that close and nothing happens. But Langster happy just to tuck in behind. Very good racecraft. Willard's still in the lead, 2.5 seconds clear. He has taken massive chunks out of those tyres though, and I'm not entirely sure that has been the smartest thing he's done today. Brett Rackett happy to let Willard disappear off out the road and burn off fuel and burn off tyres, because the pit stop here, it isn't the longest on the circuits here, but it isn't the shortest either. And you want to be making sure you've got plenty of tyre for the end of this race, because that grip is so important here. Nick No One, he's taken a lot out of his front tyres as well. So really pushing hard. Langster looking after those tyres better. Use that slipstream to look after them. As is Bonnie Val. Bonnie Val looking after the fuel very well as well. Tucked in there behind Langster on those medium tyres, looking for a long run. This could be a very interesting second stint. I don't think anybody else. I'll tell a lie. Super Squid there, he is running on those medium tyres as well. Tucked in behind Lango. Will he make the move, or will he just hang in behind and save those tyres for a longer run? Dinglehopper also running on those mediums, as is Airbag. So all of the yellow team on the same strategy, starting on those medium tyres, giving themselves a good run on the softs later. No hassle on mediums. Webson's on mediums. They're going to run longer too. This could actually play into their hands later on in this race. I know they are currently cut adrift, but it won't stay that way for long. So fastest lap of the race is still with Langster, 2:08.1, which is that's qualifying pace, man. That's ridiculous. But Willard now 3.2 seconds clear. But there's only going to be another lap or two left in those tyres. Just really taking something out of those fronts on that GTR. In terms of fuel, plenty left, so won't have to fill up again. Maybe actually the wise choice here is just to put tyres on, come back out, same fuel, same kind of pace, and then to stop it and make your second stint a little bit longer on some medium tyres. Brett Rackett about halfway through the tyre wear. If Brett looks after those tyres a little bit now, could probably take them somewhere to like lap 12. Although I have noticed with the new tyre model, there is a very sharp drop off beyond sort of 25% left. It almost seems as though it takes ages to get to 50%, half the time to get to 25%, or a quarter of the time to get to 25%, and then they drop off very quickly. Langster up into third, around Nick No One now. Bored of hanging around, got ahead. 2:08.1 fastest lap still. Pace dropped off a little bit. Now we're moving into lap 6. So we've currently got red team from green team, red team, blue team, red team, yellow team, green team, yellow team, blue team, blue team, blue team. It started out very colour coded, but already things have changed. Willard is leading this race. 3 seconds is the lead at the moment. Brett Rackett giving up a little bit of slipstream to his teammate Langster. 3 seconds behind the leader, but their game plan is very different. They're looking after their tyres a little bit better here. Langster much more so than, well, not much more so, but enough more than Brett Rackett. Nick No One for the red team did start in the top 3, has lost a place, but we know he can run around the front of this pack. The only question mark over Nick, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, is that he seems to drop off at the end of races. So maybe there is a lesson to be learned there about early pace. If you see what Brett and Langster are doing in terms of just dropping their pace a little bit, saving the tyres, saving the fuel, and giving yourself a much better opportunity later. And I tell you what, if you want to see a really good example of that, we did a team versus team yesterday, Black Flag versus the Virtual Races Club, and we had it was a 2-stop race, to be fair, for those that are the quickest, but we had the driver PM10, one of our drivers, finished in 3rd. He went onto the soft tyres probably a lap or 2 early, took a lot out of them early on, trying to make the overtake into 3rd, and very, very nearly lost 3rd place through lack of tyres. I think it was the fact it was Red Bull Ring and not many overtaking opportunities that saved him. Certainly another lap would have killed him. But it was 2 things. One, it was a lesson about looking after your tyres, and 2, it was a masterclass in driving when your tyres are effed. So, no change. Gap's gone down a little bit. The gap is under 2 seconds now. Willard's still in the lead. Is Willard going to pop into the pits? I think that's probably likely now. Lap 7, tyres looking ropey. We'll see Willard pull off to the left-hand side. We will not see the same from Brett Rackett, nor will we see that from Langster. Or has Willard stayed out? It looks to me Willard. No, Willard is going in. I thought Willard had stayed out there. I thought that was some craziness. But Brett Rackett stays out. Langster stays out. Bonnie Val stays out. Of course Bonnie Val will. Bonnie Val's running those medium tyres. So Willard in. Nick No One in. Carl Games drums in. So all 3 of the red team are in. They have really burnt their tyres trying to keep this lead here, and all going in on lap 7. Everyone else stays out. So Brett Rackett takes up the lead of this race. So Team Green and Team Green have moved up 3 positions each. Although I think Brett Rackett has jumped Langster, isn't he? So 4 positions for Brett. He moves up into 1st place. Langster in 2nd. Bonnie Val for blue team. Big jump for Bonnie Val. Qualified in 7th. Up to 3rd place already. On the medium compound tyres. Now, easily can run these until the fuel runs out. And then look at stint number 2. Super Squid on the mediums also. Up to 4th place with Lango for the green team. On those soft tyres, but looking after them much better. Will be coming in a couple of laps, probably lap 10. I suppose it depends how well this lap goes. Maybe in lap 9, I think it's more realistic. Dinglehopper also on those medium tyres, plenty of rubber still left, as with airbag as well. So all 3 yellow drivers will come in at similar time to Bonnie Val, which I imagine will be somewhere around lap 16 or thereabouts. There we've got No Hassle, the 2nd of the blue team runners, up into 8th place. Also on the medium tyres, plenty of rubber left again. Lap 16, maybe lap 17, with some very clever looking after of the tyres. Willard, that's where Willard comes out in 9th place. He has already pitted back on the soft, so it is going to be soft, medium for this red team. Not sure that's the smartest choice here, because on a track like this, where you want to be quick, you ideally want to be on the fastest tyres at the end of this race. Or is it going to be soft? Can someone, if someone's watching and they know, are you supposed to run 2 compounds? I'm pretty sure they're supposed to run 2 compounds. I could be wrong though. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Carl Games drums behind Willard, picking up some slipstream. Probably not enough to make the overtake, but certainly enough to look after the tyres a little bit. And Nick No One is the third of those 3 red team runners. Webson's back in 12th place, has not yet pit, so lost out quite a bit of time. Just needs to pick up that pace. So leader is still Brett Rackett of the green team, but Lancaster very, very close now. Is there a move on, or is it purely about looking after the tyres? Now, I said lap 9. I think lap 9 is probably going to be about right. I mean, if Lancaster looked after his tyres, he could probably go lap 10. But are you going to take a risk on a track like this when you have the track position? We know Bodyval's going to go ahead. Bodyval's on the medium tyres. Bodyval is going to go through whatever they do at this stage. They just, to be fair, that was very, very close. Both of them looked like they were going to have a meeting with the wall there. But you can already see the times dropping off. So maybe it is time for new tyres for these two. So here we go. They're going to come into the final straight here. That's the one I want. There we go. I really want, do you know what I really want? I really want to go back to GTS where you've got keyboard controls. Because I miss having the replays and all that kind of palaver. And Lancaster makes the move on Brett Rackett now, round the outside. But I think Brett Rackett's just going to stay ahead. Lancaster says, well, if you're not going to let me through, I'll tuck in behind and save a bit more fuel. They are both going to peel off to this left-hand side without question. So Bodyval will take the lead of this race for the first time. And it doesn't often take Bodyval this long to put themselves in the lead. You remember last time out, they were very, very dominant. And then Lancaster gave Bodyval a lesson in pit stop strategy and took the lead of the race. So Super Squid stays out. Dinglehopper will stay out. Airbag will also stay out. That will push all of that red team back. No Hassle also stays out. So Lancaster fastest man on track still with that 2:08.1. That was way back on like lap 3, lap 4. Super Squid 5.3 seconds back from the lead. Dinglehopper 3.9 seconds back from that. Airbag picking up a little bit slipstream from his teammate. Just half a second back from Dinglehopper of the United States. No Hassle running in 5th place, 1.5 seconds back. Then we've got 5.3 back to the 3 GTRs. Look at those 3 GTRs. They ran like that in qualifying. They wanted to race like that. But now at the moment, this is a proper team effort from them. Willard at the moment being that, and it's very much like cycling. You know, when you get those teammates all keeping each other going. But Willard leading that pack out. Carl Games drums tucked in behind, using his teammate to save those tyres, save that fuel, keep that pace up. Nick No One just a little bit further back, but doing the very, very same thing. Is this going to play into their hands later on? Is any of these guys going to take the mantle from Willard and start giving him an opportunity to save fuel, to save tyres, pick up a bit of slipstream? Webson's up to 9th place, 5.6 seconds back for Team Blue. It's on the medium tyres, will keep running. I said lap 16, I still stick by that. There's plenty of rubber left on that car. Brett Rackett did lead the race for a while, not for very long though. Is currently running in 10th. Lancaster just behind, 3/10 back. These two playing a very, very clever game. Tactics wise, they're on the medium tyres now. Did initially start on the soft tyres. Now on the mediums, going to run those for quite a long time and then finish on the softs. And I actually think, I'm going to call it, I think the green strategy of soft, medium soft, is going to be a much, much better option than the soft medium that red seem to be running. So we've got red team, green team, all working together, although Lago is 13 seconds back from his teammates. At the back of the pack at the moment, Bodyval in the lead, still yet to pit. On lap 11, looking at the tyres, I think lap 16 might be a little bit brave. Maybe lap 13, 14 for him. Super Squid is a very similar strategy in that Viper, although much better, well, not much better, but it's certainly a little bit better on fuel. Dingle hopper and airbags. At the moment, it's only the blue team that are separated. So how you doing, Dalton? Good of you to jump in. Sorry I missed your message. So basically, everyone from Willard backwards has pitted. So red team have all pitted. Blue team haven't. Green team have all pitted. Yellow team haven't yet. And blue team, I don't think any of them have. So yeah, all running very... To be fair, I'm surprised actually a couple of teams don't split strategies just in case. But you know, it is what it is. But we've got Bonnie Val, 6.7 seconds clear of Super Squid. 5.2 seconds clear of his teammate, Dingle Hopper. He is just 8 tenths clear of his teammate Airbag. So the yellow's all running 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we've got No Hassle of the blue team. Still yet to pit, running in 5th. Charging them down is Willard, Carl, Games, Drums, and Nick No One of the red team. That's a very close run thing. Okay, that makes sense. That's why you've jumped in. Glad to have you, mate. And if you like what you see, please click the sub button, mate. I could do with the support. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure I saw a message. I'm doing your tier T2 next week. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm doing tier 2 next week. So that'll be interesting. I get to see some drivers I haven't seen yet. So Body Val absolutely dominating at the moment. Well out in front. Quite happy to keep the pace in the sort of mid to low 210s. Doesn't have to rush on those medium tyres. Now, is this going to be a one stopper for the blue? I mean, one stopper's a little bit of a big ask, I think. There's going to be 10 laps left. But what is the strategy here? Super Squid. 7 seconds back, 5.2 is the gap back to Dingle Hopper, our teammate. Dingle Hopper and Airbag sticking very, very close together. Willard was the leader of this race. Everyone in front still needs to pit. Well, 14 seconds of the gap, so probably will regain the lead. But I'm not convinced by the red team strategy, which is looking like a soft medium. Maybe it's a soft. I can't actually remember whether you have to use 2 compounds. So Willard looking to make the move on Airbag. Is that necessarily a wise move to make at this stage? Probably not, because Airbag's going to have to go in. So why not tuck in, take that slipstream? At the moment, Cole Games Drums is doing just that. Taking the slipstream, makes the move on his teammate. Little clip from behind, almost sends him spinning, but holds on. Makes the move on Airbag, and there we go. Cole Games Drums, big move. And Nick No One round all of them while they're all faffing about. There goes Nick No One. He says, well, if you're not going to make that place yours, I'm having it. And up he goes, the South African Kiwi, up into 4th place. He's taken the head of No Hassle. He's ahead of Willard. He's ahead of Airbag. He's ahead of Carl Games Drums. I don't know why I'm saying his name like that. I suppose it's kind of a list of Carl and things he likes. Webson's running in 9th place, still needs to pit. Brett Rackett has pit, tucked in behind it, but they're now running the medium tyres. And I think the green strategy looks to me to be the favourable one here, which is running on the soft, then the medium. Now, do the medium, I think the medium probably go to the end, to be fair. What I should have done, and I say this before every race, is I should have gone out and run the race simulation. So I've got a better idea of tyre profile. Because now looking at it, I think probably these mediums can run to the end, so it is a one-stop race. Unless, of course, you are the red team and you go in 2-stop. Because if you go in soft, I say only the soft is mandatory. So that's interesting, because that means that the blue team, I don't know, it's a big ask though, 8 laps on the soft tyres. I think it's going to be squeaky bum time at the end, isn't it? with soft tyres for these runners then. But I think Bonnie Val's probably got another lap in that. 7 tyres on the soft is, you can say, pretty racing now, I think. So Bonnie Val in a massively good position. Super Squid also in a good position, as is Dinglehopper. Carl Games Drums now around Willard, now around Nick No One. Nick No One losing out this time round. But we go back into Slipstreamville very, very soon. Carl Games Drums tucked in behind Dinglehopper. Dinglehopper, remember, hasn't stopped yet. So Carl Games Drums will want to get round, because this red team are 2 stopping this race. Without question, they're 2 stopping. It looks to me like they're going to go soft, soft, soft. I'm not entirely sure that is the cleverest thing they've done. Willard does have the fastest lap though. Here we go, Bonnie Val into the pits. Going to jump for me onto the soft tyres, as will Super Squid. Dinglehopper jumps in. Carl Games Drums, he will take the lead of this race, but will have to stop sometime between now and the end of the race. Willard will also have to stop, as will Nick No One. And Willard will have to stop probably this or the next lap. I'm going to call this right now. I think Bonnie Val just looks so quick today, and it's going to be on soft tyres. I think Bonnie Val and Langster again are going to look to be the 2 strongest out there. But I've got an outside bet here on Nick No One, and I'll tell you why. Actually, no, I'm changing my mind on Carl Games Drums, because he has really looked after those tyres in this second stint on those softs. And while I don't think a 2-stopper here is necessarily the best strategy, they do have track position and they are on softs and they can give it some. Now, if Carl Games Drums wants to win this race, I genuinely think the best place for him is not in first place. I think he needs to be tucked in behind both his teammates and tyre saving like he's paying for them. And if he does that, I think he could take those soft tyres a bit longer than expected, jump onto some softs at the end and absolutely smash it. But it's going to take some crazy racing. Willard looking strong, but he's going to have to pit this lap. Nick No One, he may also pit this lap. Is he even making a move here? It looks like he might be making a move on his teammate. Willard taking the inside line. So Nick No One does move up into second place. So Brett Rackett currently running 4th. Langster currently running 5th. I mean, the pair of them really looking after their tyres, to be fair. Bonnie Val on those soft tyres. Going to take those to the end of the race, running in 6th place. So it is all about what the red team do here, because Brett Rackett in the lead of this race when they all come in for their next set of tyres. And we're going to see one jumping in right now. That's going to be Willard. Or is it? They've stayed out. Looking at those tyres, I'll tell you what, that is ropey. Very ropey. Now, if the end of this lap was like the beginning, I'd happily do a lap on these tyres. But knowing how tricky that middle sector is, with tyres with that little rubber, it's a risky move from Willard. Nick No One's probably just about got enough. Carl Games Drums definitely has enough. Let's have a look at the back of the pack. We haven't been down there for a while. Webster's still at the back, 13 seconds back. Airbag is 1.5 back from Dinglehopper, running the softs to the end of this race. Dinglehopper is right in that slipstream of No Hassle, and is the move from Dinglehopper for the yellow team going to be made on No Hassle now, or can No Hassle hold them off? Maybe Dinglehopper is just going to look after those tyres for a little while and make the move later, or are they going to make it now? Nope, they're just going to hold off, take the slipstream, save some fuel, and the move will come later. No Hassle tucked in behind Lango. So that is a 3-way battle at the moment. Lango just pulling these 2 cars along. 9.3 seconds back from Super Squid. There he is, running in 7th. 9 seconds off the back of Bonnie Val. And I've got to say, Bonnie Val looking very strong today. Just goes to prove you don't always have to have that fastest lap. 4.2 seconds to Langster. They will run to the end on those medium tyres, but the car behind's on the softs. So now I know it's a one-stop race. I'm kind of thinking being on the mediums to finish this race might not be the wisest idea. Brett Rackett will take the lead very soon. Willard's got to come into the pits now, surely. Has held off the charge. 10.4 seconds up. 1.5, though, behind his teammates. Nick No One, who will probably also come in. He does pull over to that left-hand side. He is coming in. Carl Games drums, though. What's he going to do? Surely he's not going to pit now. He's got another lap in those tyres. I think he should have gone full bean. Oh, no, actually, fuel wasn't holding out for him. So he couldn't go full beans and stay out. If he'd had Willard's fuel, though, maybe he could have done. So Willard, Nick No One, Carl Games drums, all in. Here goes Brett Rackett to take the lead of this race from Langster. We're on lap 16 of 22. Langster tucked nicely in behind Brett Rackett. And I'll tell you what he's thinking. I'm just going to sit in here. I'm going to save my fuel. I'm going to look after my tyres. And then you, my friend, if you are still in first place when it comes to the last lap, I'm having some of that. Well, that's what I'd be thinking if I was racing in second. I'll tell you how often I race in second. It's when I occasionally drop down to D ranking and get a D lobby. That's when I get a chance of finishing in second. Because I would be somewhere behind Webson's. Some significant way beyond Webson's. So I know I come in here and I criticise people. But it's because those who can do and those who can't talk rubbish about those that can on YouTube. So we have got Team Green. Brett Rackett, Team Green, Langster. Dominated last week. Dominating again this week. Bonnie Val for Team Blue. Carrying the torch in that NSX. The GTR was always going to be the strongest choice here though. Super Squid in the Viper. Running in fourth. 8.9 seconds back. From Carl Games drums for the red team. Nick No One for the red team. Those two very, very close together. Can Nick No One get his way around Carl Games drums now? It is a race to the line now for these guys. What they want to do is they want to race each other, but without coming together. Willard, despite leading this race for a large majority of it, and certainly being in the leading position for his team, finds himself 2.1 seconds back from his teammates and not getting the benefit of a slipstream. So for all the slipstream they got from him, they are not returning the favour. No hassle for the blue team. Back in 8th place, 1.6 seconds back is No Hassle. He's got Dinglehopper coming up to that slipstream range. They will come into this final turn. If Dinglehopper can close this gap a little bit, it could be Overtake City with this slipstream. And you've got to love the slipstream here. It's a great leveler. It doesn't matter how good your car is. He's not tucked in enough. This is not going to be an overtake for Dinglehopper this time round. Lango tucked in behind for Team Green. Can he push his way up the order? The French driver for ART, can he push his way up and join his teammates Brett Rackett and Langster in that top three? Airbag for Team Yellow, 1.2 seconds back. Now, to be fair, I don't think they're going to fight, but I think that Langster's got some crazy pace, man. And, I don't know. I mean, maybe he'll just sit in there and he'll let Brett Rackett take the points. But I don't know if I could, team or not. I think if you're quicker, you're quicker. But, it is what it is. There is Airbag. He's running in 11th place, 1.1 seconds behind Lango for the green team. Webson's still bringing up the rear, 15 seconds back. But you know what? He's hanging in there. And that's what matters. It doesn't matter whether you are last in the race. And let's face it, talking to someone who is pretty much, and obviously, I do this a lot now. I don't race as much as I used to. But when I do race, I'm pretty much where Webster's is in every race. And I mean, if you look at the team that I race with, I really haven't got much choice because a lot of them are pretty damn quick. But it's about sticking out there and staying in the race. Because let's face it, if Airbag has an absolute nightmare, puts his car into a wall, facing the opposite direction, it can all change. So stick it out and have a go. Okay, so Lango. Lango is Brazilian living in France. Okay. We should be able to change our flag, I genuinely think that, because if you look at Nick No One, he's South African living in New Zealand. You've got, I'll give you an example, Dalton. And thanks for mentioning that, actually, that he's Brazilian. On a Sunday, I do the Lithuanian National GR3 Championship. Now, every single one of the drivers in that championship is from Lithuania, but not one of them sports Lithuanian badge. They are all over the world. Now, I think it'd be really cool for guys like that to be able to put their flag on their car. when they're racing. And not just on their car, but next to their name, so you can see it. But, it's one of the many features we'd love to have in this game we don't have. To be fair, if we had to set grids, would be bloody nice. But Brett Rackett still leading this race for Team Green. Very dominant performance from Team Green yet again this week. It was dominant last week in the rain at Dragon Trail. It's dominant again in the sunshine in Tokyo. Yeah, I know. You should be allowed. You should be allowed to make a selection. You should have the choice between where you are locally and where you geographically place yourself. There should be an option for that, I think. Not that mine would change. No, I'm geographically based in the UK. I'm from the UK. I just think that in this day and age when we have a very, very transient world, people moving around, you want to be proud, you want to fly your flag. Sometimes you can't do that from the country of your birth. That might be because of bad migration, but it could also be for many other reasons as well. But sometimes you want to fly that flag and you want to be able to do it loud and proud. But Brett Rackett there from, we're assuming he's Belgian, currently leading from Lancaster, from the United Kingdom. I know he's British. Bonnie Val, 6.4 seconds back on the soft tyres, closing the gap, but how quickly? That's the question. Fastest lap still with Willard, 208.1. I will have a look actually. I did miss that, to be fair. I probably should look at things like that, to be fair, Dolan. But I don't, because and the more of my streams you'll watch, the more you'll realise that I miss more than I notice. And talk rubbish a lot. I will say things that genuinely no one else can see. No, it is really, really good team driving from there, Hockers. You're absolutely right. Oh, he is actually Belgian. That's good. Super Squid running in 4th place, 8.1 behind Bonnie Val. Don't think, look, Super Squid's running really quick, but not closing the gap enough for me. Nick No One, the lead driver of the Reds, despite for most of the first half of this race being the back driver, should we say, of the three. But they're still running in formation. It would be good. Where is Lango right now? Let's have a look. Yeah, Lango running in 10th, 5.2 behind Dinglehopper. Got airbag tucked in behind. I think Lango's problems aren't necessarily moving forward. It's stopping airbag from getting something from this slipstream. At the moment, with airbag tucked in there, is he going to make the move on Lango? He does pull out to the side. Side by side they are. And I think it's going to be good night Vienna for Dinglehopper of the United States. So here we go. Airbag moving up. Lango got a lot more work to do. But you're right. No, to be fair, everybody is fighting to the end here. And we even look at Webson's. He might be 15 seconds back, but he hasn't given this up. He's on it. He's just putting his fastest lap of the race. So he's clearly putting the effort in. And I love to see that. And I know you've watched a few of my streams, Hockers, and I know you've heard me quite often say what I think about rage quitters. And, and the reason I feel that way, and it's pretty nice, because I am a backmarker, like Hockers, Webson's is right now. Sorry, just said you were a backmarker. Sorry, mate. Like Webson's is right now, I'm often in this position. And, be it a 5-lap race or a 50-lap race, I kind of stick it out because I feel you should. And I just think if someone is not used to being there and then they end up there and then they rage quit, it's a really, really dick move. Because it's unfair on the guys that are racing in the back there that won't often get an opportunity to overtake someone and have finally got that opportunity, and then you just go and rage quit. And there was a couple in GT Champions a couple of weeks ago which really annoyed me because they basically just gave up because they couldn't be bothered, and it really annoyed me. Although, they still lost out on points, but for the guys racing in the back, you want to have some competition. But, talking of competition, Brett Rackett and his teammate Lancaster, they're not really in competition right now. No, you never learn if you quit. You're absolutely right. Brett Rackett is holding out from Lancaster. I think they're playing a team game here. Is Lancaster going to nick this win? I don't know. We're on lap 20 or 22. I think if he wanted to, he probably could. But maybe he's just going to stick and sit in there. And maybe it's the best move, actually. Because if Brett Rackett does start to lose his tyres, lose some fuel. They can swap places and keep that gap to Bonnie Val. I fully expected, when I saw Bonnie Val make that charge early on, I thought, do you know what, he is absolutely going to smash this. But Brett Rackett and Lancaster have pulled an absolute blinder here, and just keeping that gap too big. And Bonnie Val are currently sitting in third. It is a podium, but it's not a gold or a silver one. The question is, will Lancaster settle for silver, or will he want to have back-to-back wins here in Team Showdown? So the full rundown is Brett Rackett from Team Green, teammate Lancaster also from Team Green, running in first and second. Yeah, it is absolutely brilliant. Bonnie Val running in third place, 5.2 seconds back. The gap is coming down, but it's not coming down quick enough. And we're on lap 20 of 22. Carl Games Drums. I still don't know why I'm pausing in between those three names. With the fastest lap with a 2:07.9. Are the red team going to bring themselves into this fight a little bit further down? Super Squid for Team Yellow, running very, very well and holding the torch for Team Yellow right now. 4.5 seconds ahead of the three Team Red runners. And Nick No One drops to the back of that pack. So it was Willard leading the pack out. Then it was Nick No One leading the pack out. Now it is Carl Games Drums. I've decided from now on I'm going to leave pauses in between his names. Nick No One running in 7th place at the minute. Team Red, to be fair, one thing I will say about Team Red, they've been very consistent in terms of looking after each other and racing together as a team. We've got No Hassle from the blue team, just ahead of Dinglehopper. Is Dinglehopper going to make this move? Absolutely looks like it. Tucked right in behind that NSX in the Dodge Viper. A little bit of a bum draft there. I don't know why Dinglehopper's helping out a team rival, but he's got to make the move soon. Or are they just hanging on till later? So is the move going to be into turn one? They do finally try and pull out the move. They are side by side, and then we say goodbye blue, and yellow moves ahead. Dinglehopper up into 8th place, putting No Hassle down into 9th. 9th place is No Hassle. Airbag back in 10th. The Dinglehopper's teammate couldn't keep up with Dinglehopper, not keeping the pace with Super Squid, who's the lead runner for them in 4th place. Well, you say wants a later move, made the later move, but not much later. Lango now 3.2 seconds behind after overtake by Airbag. It's going to be very difficult to close up now on the medium tyres, chasing down someone on softs with that much tyre. It's going to be a very, very difficult ask for Lango at this stage for Team Green. But his teammates are running first and second, and that's all that matters. It's a team event, and they are bringing home the bacon. 14 seconds back is Webson's for Team Blue, sticking in the fight. It only needs a mistake from Airbag, a mistake from Lango, and this can all come good for Webson's. Brett Rackett and Lancaster literally human centipeding it round the track right now. No, absolutely, you're right. He didn't want to get drafted back, and that wasn't the right move. So they are human centipeding the rest of this race, and I think Lancaster has decided to stay in behind there. I think if he was going to make a move, he would have made it now rather than later. Or maybe he'll say, look, we'll get round here, we'll keep this lead, and then it's every man for himself into the final corner. Bonnie Val 5 seconds back. It's no better than third for Bonnie Val today. They've showed their dominance. Laguna Seca, they almost showed their dominance at Dragon Trail last week until Lancaster pulled out a very, very clever pit move, and not pit manoeuvre, but a pit move, and came out in front. Super Squid 4 yellow team can't see this changing. 9.9 seconds is the gap, but keeping it consistent under no pressure from Team Red. But Team Red though, Carl Games Drums, Art Willard, ART Willard, I don't want to say Art Willard, Willard and Nick No One running in 5th, 6th and 7th. Now, if you want to talk about teamwork, that's pretty damn good teamwork. They're all running together, looking after each other and staying on track. I mean, I am a little bit concerned about Carl Games Drums. fuel at this stage. He will probably do that to win it, and winner will probably take that place back. Dingle Hopper not going to close up that 12.8 seconds in 8th. Might be under some pressure from No Hassle though. No Hassle said, do you know what, I'm not happy with you being there. Is No Hassle going to make the move? Making the move in this section here, which is incredibly brave, because you're relying on the guy you're overtaking not to cut inside. That is brilliant racing. And No Hassle says, no hassle there, I'm moving up. Dingle Hopper will get some slip, but will it be enough? So here we go. We are looking at Brett Rackett. They're coming towards the finish line. It's Brett Rackett, it's Langster. Are they going to be side by side to cross the line? It certainly looks that way. Langster's pulling it out. Is Langster going to steal this from Brett Rackett out the line? And it looks like, no, he backed off. He backed off at the line. He would have had that, absolutely no question. He was proving a point that I could have had you, but he backed off. Bonnie Val takes 3rd place. That was phenomenal. And I think very good, very fair play there from Langster, because I think Brett Rackett, having the lead for that long, deserved it. Super Squid in 4th, Willett in 5th, Carl Games dropped 6th, Nick No One in 7th, No Hassle in 8th. What happened to Dingle Hopper? Did he manage to catch you? No, he didn't. No Hassle coming out in 8th, Dingle Hopper 9th, Airbag in 10th, Lango, despite best efforts, comes home in 11th, and Webson sticks it out. He might be 15 seconds back, but he gets the kudos for sticking it out. 14 Blue coming home in 12th place. And let's watch him cross that line and take the applause from the crowd. Good job from all of them there. And driver of the day, I'm going to give it to Langster. And the reason I'm giving it to Langster is purely for sportsmanship, because he had that win from Brett Rackett, but recognised his teammate had done the work there and just backed off at the line to Brett take it. Not before he demonstrated that he would have had the win, so he's got those bragging rights. But Brett Rackett shows me his back, puts his very buff hands in the air and says yes with his finger up there. He is the winner today from Langster, from Bonnie Val. Team Green are on a massive charge, and I'll tell you what, as this competition hots up, it's looking pretty good. So there we go. We're at the end of Team Showdown for another week, and I think I made it through this entire one without swearing, didn't I? I did get told off a little bit for swearing last week. I apologise for that, because I know there's a lot of kids. Now I know there's a lot of kids watching. I will be nicer. So race is over. We are done. All of you can go back to doing whatever you do when you're not racing. I am going to crash because I've got another early start tomorrow. It's been a crazy week at work. You won't see me tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is a night off. Euro Trips F1 is not racing tomorrow. They've got a break, so I'm going to take some time to actually drive a car for a change instead of talking about people driving them. I'll be back on Saturday for the Black Flag Super Formula race. You can catch me live from 7:45 for that. But all that's left to say is I've been Urban Pirate. This has been the ART Team Showdown Round 7 at Tokyo East, won by very strong green team today, without question. I've been Urban Pirate, and it's been incredibly emotional here at Black Flag Racing TV. Thanks for joining me.